Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. I want to share with you perspective from a couple different chart analysts. One, and this is going to be the more fun part of the video, one of them just irrationally hates XRP, has for years, and surprise, surprise, still says number go down for XRP. But I also have another analyst who I happen to not be familiar with, but he's got quite a respectable following. And I believe that this particular analyst, I think he's being intellectually honest, and he's not some sort of XRP hater, but he is particularly cautious about XRP. Now, on this channel, I always say, I love sharing diverse viewpoints on any number of topics, because if you're not willing to do that, then you are desiring to live in an echo chamber, which is not the best way to go through life. What I always say is that if there really is something, say there's something horrifically wrong with XRP, and it's going to cause XRP to go to zero, just hypothetically. Like, do you want to know about it? Because I want to know about it. It doesn't matter how much I'm biased towards XRP and want it to do well. If there's something genuinely bad, you better believe I want to know it. And if that ever happened, I would scream it from the rooftops, which means I'd post videos about it on the YouTubes so that you could know as well. Because look, if there's a good because look, if you're just talking about random volatility, I don't care about that. The ups, the downs don't emotionally sway me. If you show me something that will result in the actual collapse of XRP for some sort of fundamental reason, like if you found some actual hole in the code or something like that, if you could prove it to me, I absolutely would want to know that. And so, that's why, like, even when it just comes to price action, just speculative price action from and what chart analysts think is going to happen, I'm not only going to post the stuff that sounds good, I want to share opposing viewpoints. And the interesting thing is the opposing viewpoints in terms of XRP isn't going to perform well this market cycle, or it's time to be cautious. The people that hold those opinions are almost zero. There's almost none of them. Unless you throw in all of the toxic Bitcoin maximalists and all of the people who irrationally hate XRP, then there's a number of them. But if you're talking about people that don't have a history of just irrationally hating XRP, there's almost none of them. But I'm going to share with you a couple perspectives here that are just interesting. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I'm not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. So here's the headline from the Crypto Basic. Analyst questions why everyone is bullish on XRP while key resistance remains unbroken. XRP has been trading at a discount for nearly 7 years, and while some analysts remain bullish, others are exercising caution for now. However, Northstar, a macro analyst with nearly 100,000 followers on X, has questioned the bullish optimism surrounding XRP, arguing that it may be premature. Okay, so again, I happen to have not heard of this particular individual, but indeed he's got a respectable following here, 96,900 followers. And so before delving in too deep on this, I was curious, because if somebody is skeptical of XRP, even if they're, and he's not like outright saying, no, this is going to zero. He's not like one of those people. But if somebody's going to show some skepticism, yes, I'm interested. I do want to know about this. I'm a curious individual. But I wanted to know first if I'm dealing with some sort of irrational XRP hater. And so far as I can tell, the answer is no. I did an advanced search on social media platform X for all of his posts that include either Ripple or XRP. And there have been moments in time where he was unreasonably, as it turns out, or incorrect about being bullish to the degree that he was, frankly. So I don't think that he's some sort of irrational hater, but I also don't suppose it's likely that he knows that much about the XRP ecosystem itself. Reason I say that is because he uses Ripple and he uses XRP as interchangeable terms, which they most certainly are not. One is a fintech company based out of San Francisco, and one is a decentralized cryptocurrency. So he hasn't quite figured that part out yet. No offense, but he just hasn't. And so that's the type of thing that you see either from a hater or somebody that's brand new to learning about the XRP ecosystem, and then that mistake can be made if they're brand new. But this guy's known about XRP for years and years and years, and he's still conflating the two. So that's a surprise. You almost, I mean, if somebody's been in the space for years, you almost exclusively see that from haters if they're still conflating it. But anyway, so there's this post. This is from chart analyst Northstar, August 15th, 2021, XRP USD chart. So 2021, obviously a hot year. XRP hit its peak that cycle, close to $2 in April of that year. Here's a post from August, several months after XRP hit its cycle high, and Northstar was calling for XRP to hit $3 by the end of 2021. He was still believing that that was going to happen, but the vast majority of the excitement for altcoins, it was already over. I mean, I know Bitcoin, it technically hit a new high. In November, many have called that a false breakout, and altcoins broadly didn't follow along. XRP sure as hell didn't. And so this was well after the excitement had ended, and he was still calling for this. So that makes me a bit skeptical right there, even though he was calling for something positive. And yes, I would have preferred that happen. But then we see this particular analysis, and mind you, look, I'm not a chart guy, so like I'm not ripping technical analysis itself to shreds. I'm just sharing thoughts and perspectives based on what I've seen from other chart analysts. So not pretending to be a chart guy here, but I'm able to observe things even not being a chart guy. That's what I'm highlighting here, because I've seen enough of this stuff and I've seen enough perspectives from chart guys to comment on this specifically. Here's a post this year, August 5th. He says XRP down 85% on where it was 6 years ago. Okay, so when I see that perspective, I mean, it's okay to acknowledge reality. Like, I acknowledge XRP; it's obviously way down from its all-time high. But if you're putting forth an argument that is some sort of indication that there's something wrong with XRP, you do lose me on that. And I'll show you in a second, there's another one where he's comparing gold to XRP and their performance and picking this arbitrary timeline from 6 years ago. And I'm just like, what's the purpose of even doing that? Because when you're talking about XRP in 2018, that was the peak of a bubble. Just like Bitcoin was in a bubble at the end of 2017, it was bubble territory. Way too much exuberance from the market. Bubble pop for Bitcoin, bubble pop for XRP. Market went way down. XRP down over 90% ultimately. Whatever, however much it crashed. Bitcoin way down. Very similar percentage down for that cycle. So to pick the peak of a bubble and then note that since we're at a point where XRP still hasn't had a chance to pop due to SEC nonsense last cycle. To compare it, the inflated number, which I think we'd all agree for being fair, like that was a bubble, that was unreasonably high at that particular point, too much exuberance in the market. To compare that to where we are now, and then something that wasn't in a bubble back then, trending up since then, it doesn't strike me as useful. It doesn't strike me as useful at all. Now, on this particular chart, though, he actually believes here, mind you, this is from August, he says XRP is breaking down. Now, I've not seen this exact argument from any other analyst that I can recall. Not one. Except for maybe over a short term, there was an analyst named Crypto Rover, who I don't really regularly follow, nothing against him, but I saw that he tried to make some sort of argument similar to that way back. I can't remember exactly how long ago, and there was debate between him and some other analysts about this. But what's happening here, I can say this, even not being a chart guy, he's showing that XRP is breaking down outside of the symmetrical triangle, which would be a bad sign. But you see, as is always the case here, that's only true if you're correctly drawing these lines that form the symmetrical triangle. And he's the only analyst that has drawn the lines in such a way that they break down here. And I'm wondering if it's because he drew them at the bottom of some of these wicks here, because if you didn't do that, it would have tilted out very different, obviously, and then you'd still be within the symmetrical triangle. But either way, whatever the actual reason is, what I'm observing here, and I don't need to be a chart guy to observe this, is that he's the only one that drew them this way, and if you draw them this way, yeah, it looks like XRP is outside of that. But every other analyst that I follow, all the reputable ones from the blockchain backer on down, everybody, they say that, the chart structure for XRP, it's not broken even after the SEC appeal news. So, and sometimes minority opinions can be correct. And if he drew the lines right and every other analyst that's reputable and has a good track record for the last X number of years is correct, then okay. I'm skeptical of that. But I do like to share opposing viewpoints on the channel, which is why I'm highlighting this. And I don't even think that he's being a troll. I think that he believes what he believes. And again, I don't see a record of him irrationally hating on XRP. There's just a couple questionable posts that he's put out in certain statements in terms of conflating XRP and Ripple, where I'm like, come on now. But he is skeptical. He's highly skeptical. And so this is rare. That's the reason I want to highlight. Like, it's so easy to find pro-crypto XRP posts, but to find an anti-XRP post or something that's even kind of tepid from somebody who's not a hater, that's rare. And since I found one, yeah, of course I'm highlighting it. It's so rare to find this. And so here's another post from just a few days ago, October 20th. And he says, he conflates it. Ripple is down over 80%. Folks, again, what's the point of that? Yes, it's down because you're highlighting from the peak of a bubble. Yes, it's down from the peak of the bubble, and it hasn't had a chance to run in a bull market thanks to the SEC until now, if we're going to have euphoria. So maybe compare this peak to that peak, Maybe do that when it happens. It just doesn't make sense to even say that. So Ripple is down 80%. Okay. He says it has had another major breakdown. It's currently backtesting that breakdown. Why the heck is anyone bullish on XRP before it crosses the breakout line? Well, I can tell you that. It's because your trend lines for the symmetrical triangle are drawn different than any other trend lines that I've seen for a symmetrical triangle dating back to XRP's all-time high. That's why. Again, anybody, even not being a chart guy, very obviously that's why. Very obvious. And so he's insisting that it has fallen out of this, back testing here, and okay. Well, we'll see if he's correct. But he's also had this, like I was saying a second ago, here's gold priced against XRP. He says, I use weight of evidence. Gold is up over 1,200% versus XRP since 2018. It's simple. Avoid XRP unless this ratio falls below the uptrend support line. Okay, but again, if you're going to make that point, how is this useful functionally? You're talking about XRP at the peak of a bubble. Of course it was going to go down. That was a bubble. So then you talk about gold, which was not in a bubble, and then it continued to perform like normal for the next nearly 7 years at this point. Yeah, if you're talking about this particular pair, yeah, I believe that. Of course I do. Over that particular timeline, sure. So what? What does that tell us? What's useful about that? You could make the same arguments against Bitcoin and gold if you pick specific time frames. Yes, you could. Absolutely. Is that useful? I don't think so. Then we have this. Expert criticizes XRP, shares only way XRP can pump. And folks, so yes, this is coming from chart analyst Jason Pizzino yet again. He has like just this string of hits. I can't wait to highlight his greatest hits. I mean, the album is it's just going to slap, as the youth would say. So once this cycle's over and we see how XRP goes, it's going to be fun to revisit all this. So I bookmark all of his posts, and then as is the case with anybody who says a bunch of crazy stuff about XRP, just irrationally hating on it, not only do I bookmark it, but I regularly take screen grabs of it. So I'll go through my bookmarks on X, and I'll just scroll every now and then through everything. And that way, when some people delete inevitably some of their posts, I can be like, hey, look, I noticed that you have this, and you deleted it, and what's going on here? Because some people are going to want to hide from their very bad analysis, and I'm going to highlight that. Because look, if especially for the people who are wildly famous in the world of crypto, if you're gonna say that stuff, just understand like that's open for conversation. If you're allowed to say whatever you want to say, especially if it's irrational and very emotional based about XRP, then everybody observing that also has the right to comment on it. That's how the internet works. Just like everybody can yell and scream at me if they disagree with me, and they do every day, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. So, but it's just every now and then I'll see somebody that's like, oh, come on, man. Like, you're going to bring that up after? Yeah, yes, I am. Absolutely, we're going to talk about it. Yes, I am, especially if it's somebody that's hiding what they're putting out. So here we go. Macro investor and trader Jason Pizzino recently shared a sharp critique of XRP while disclosing that what he believes could change the asset's current discouraging trend. So mind you, Jason Pizzino, he has irrationally hated XRP for as long as I've known he exists. It's like years and years and years and years and years. 115,000 followers on X, but he's got even more followers on YouTube, and credit where it's due. I mean, that's not easy to achieve, and so I certainly recognize that. Last I checked, he was close to 400,000 subscribers on YouTube, and it's easy to understand why. He actually puts information out there that's useful. He has a reasonable track record, except for the things that he emotionally feels bad about. Like if he doesn't like something, whether it's XRP or also Cardano, he's just gonna put out these narratives, and then he treats those charts for those coins differently than he treats the charts for coins that he doesn't feel that way about. So he's letting his emotional bias seep into his analysis, and that's a weak point for him. That definitely is a very serious weak point for him. And so he's been doing this for years and years and years. But outside of the coins he hates, he broadly does a good job, and there's a reason that so many people appreciate what he puts out and follow him. It's just disappointing that he can't be intellectually honest about XRP specifically, but he can't. He's displayed he's incapable of doing that. So here we have a chart. This actually is Cardano priced against Bitcoin, but he's talking about XRP here also. Because he hates both. So he hates XRP the most, from what I can see. Cardano's up there, though. I don't think he hates Cardano as much as XRP. But here's what he wrote. If XRP changed from a fake financial flop coin to a flat-out meme coin, it would have a chance of pumping like everything else in crypto has already. Okay, so pause it. Think about what this guy is saying. It's just like, how can you take him seriously when he says stuff like this? He's literally saying here, well, XRP would have a chance to be worth way more if only you could strip all of the utility from it, resulting in no utility, and then just let it be treated like a meme which has no utility, which does take off in price. Oh, okay, thanks, Jason. Thanks for the analysis. Thanks for the analysis, Jason. Are you serious? Yes, he is serious. That's the problem. This isn't a silly joke. He does mean it. He just wants to crap all over XRP. And so it is funny. Like I enjoy seeing this in the sense that it's hilarious. Like this is a real person that really exists behaving in this way. I don't think it's in his interest to be behaving this way, and it's not going to look good. I mean, I'm sure that he's going to be sweating bullets once XRP starts rising. And look, if we're going to have a proper alt season, my stance still is that we're going to see that happen. And I don't know for sure, and I'm not making a price prediction, but to think that XRP just won't move with the rest of the market is completely absurd. A coin this useful, but it never, ever again, at any point in the history, will ever see a new all-time high. Really. It's completely freaking absurd. And then there's also this from a few days ago, and I'm sure you heard, and this report is true. Chris Larson, Ripple co-founder, donated $10 million in support of the Harris campaign. And so here, Jason Pizzino wrote, just in, XRP/Ripple donating $10 million of XRP to Democrats' election campaign. That should squash the tinfoil hat arguments about XRP being the one true currency. So part of that's a lie. I'm sure you already caught it. It's not XRP/Ripple. It is Chris Larson that has donated $10 million, not XRP, which is not a sentient being. It's just alphanumeric computer code. That's what it is. And Ripple's a company. They did not. They absolutely did not. In fact, Ripple put out, I've highlighted this before, like Ripple has donated like $1 million to the Deaton campaign, like pro crypto, like that. He's on the right. But $10 million, no. So then a co-founder of Ripple having a political ideology means that a decentralized cryptocurrency, which people support on both sides of the political spectrum, that means it's what? It says something about a decentralized cryptocurrency. Okay, so then somebody donating massive quantities of money derived from Bitcoin profits to the left, does that say something then too? Because would you actually make the argument there are zero humans that have made a lot of money from Bitcoin that have ever donated it to politicians on the left? There are none. There are none that have ever done that. Do you believe that, Jason Pizzino? See, this argument's dumb as hell, but you can see when people make stupid-ass arguments like this, you can tell that they're not interested in being intellectually honest because it's not a good argument. It's very easy to shred this argument. This is a stupid argument. It is. And he's not even being honest about what the donation is. He wrote XRP/Ripple. It's ridiculous. And then somebody corrected him and said Ripple didn't, Chris Larson did personally. And then Jason Pizzino said, I wonder where he gets his money from. Oh, I'm glad you asked here, because he's worth $3 billion. He actually was either a billionaire or near a billionaire before Ripple even existed, before XRP existed. In fact, here's the first big move for him. As a company that he's a co-founder of eLoan, which he sold for $300 million in 1997. So you can imagine interest compounding. And he had more business success after that. He launched Prosper after that. So yeah, he was already filthy rich before. You wonder where he got his money from? Well, you'd know if you used your fat little fingers to type on the keyboard because you have the internet, don't you, Jason Pizzino? Do you not? Is it just me that has the Googles? Like, what's going on here, man? Is your internet outage? What's happening here? Because you can also find out where he got his money from. And it wasn't all from this, but even if it were, it doesn't matter. It's his money. What the hell kind of piss poor argument is this anyway? You would expect in a company that there would be executives in just a random company, and it's certainly true at Ripple, that are on the left and the right politically. So what? Who cares? And they're going to put their money where they think it makes sense. Fine. Why shouldn't he if that's what he genuinely believes? And because look, and it just, if anything, it just shows that he's not a one-issue voter. You know? Because it's certainly destructive towards anything that's in the world of crypto. I believe that. I do. I don't think it's good. But this is the nature of politics. Okay? You know, I'm not going to support that. So what? There are people... there absolutely are. I mean, unless you're going to make the argument that there are 0 Bitcoiners that will donate to the left, then what the hell are you typing here? And all of these irrational arguments about XRP, and it's just not going to perform, and this and that. And you know what he highlighted here too? Because he said, add Cardano to that list too. The poor laggard is putting in new lows versus Bitcoin this cycle. So this is that Cardano BTC chart. And yeah, new low just hit for Cardano price against Bitcoin. He's made the same arguments half a year ago about XRP. So apparently he believes that, yes, altcoins, they do find bottoms against Bitcoin unless they're XRP or Cardano. If it's XRP or Cardano, those coins don't ever find bottoms against Bitcoin. But if they're not XRP or Cardano, then they do find bottoms. And then you look back and then you know, oh, wow, when they were priced this supremely low against Bitcoin, historically, those have been really good opportunities. I mean, it's just hilarious to me. So he's noting this low, and you know what's hilarious? You look back to the last market cycle, he noted where the lows were. He even circled them. I don't know if this is an old chart and he forgot that he used this or something. I don't know. But he highlighted the lows, and then look at how much XRP or Cardano moved up against Bitcoin. What is this guy arguing? He's ruining his own argument. How is this real life? So yes, I did go ahead and bookmark this one. We're gonna have like a Jason Pizzino like entire video when this is all said and done. We're gonna have a grand old time here because he's just not being intellectually dishonest. So if you're gonna put stuff out and you got 400,000 subscribers on YouTube, just about, and you're gonna say stuff that obviously you know is not intellectually honest, and you're gonna treat the charts of XRP and Cardano differently than other coins that you don't hate, then you better expect that people are going to highlight that after the fact. You better believe that, and that's only fair. That is only fair that people should be able to point that out. And there's such heavy bias here that's so obvious. Could not be more clear. He just doesn't like it because he just doesn't like it. He's got some feels about it, and he's going to type some stuff on the internet. He's just going to type some stuff up, and he does that. Okay, well, I'm watching. And it's just a shame because when he's not letting his bias seep into his analysis, he does a good job. Like, I see why he has his following, but damn, he needs to knock this crap off. This is not to his benefit, and it will make people trust him less than they otherwise would. It's true. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.